check every door. Forget to check every door.
Best run along, Hope. Crawl back to the hell that spawned you! Remember, I'll kill you! I'll send you back to the fucking grave!
I have it. I can now open the box. I really don't know if I should read this. I can't believe it.
Freewind shall prevail!
I will return later. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Murdering bastard!
Burn it, boys!
All back to the hell that spawned you! Lord, give us strength!
Back in the grave!
Boy!
Die, beast!
No rest for the wicked! Freewind shall prevail!
Johnathan, my dear. I can never thank you enough.
Thank me? For what?
Come now, you know what I mean. I am... well, I'm just like you.
Have you no shame? Must I remind you of your ludicrous actions? Of the innocent men and women who died at your hands?
Shame is for mortals, Johnathan. I know it now, and you should too. We are something else. Something more.
Have you news of Jeffrey McCullum? I'm sure both of you would have quite an interesting discussion after recent events.
He left the hospital without being treated for the severe beating you gave him. We'll meet again soon enough.
Does not the prospect of meeting him as a vampire thrill you? The two old enemies reunited post-mortem.
Maybe we could even share a glass of... wine. I really don't know if he will accept his condition. He has spent his life beheading leeches, you know.
What will you do now that you are immortal?
Experiment, my dear colleague. I have an eternity to make scientific progress. I could be the only scientist able to undertake extreme experiments upon himself.
My God, Edgar. Did you learn nothing from your forays into folly?
I have, I swear. No more experiments on mortals. See? I said mortals. How quickly the mind adapts.
What kind of experiments?
Who knows? Nervous shock, brain damage, pain and recovery. There's almost no limit to what my body can now endure. I could be the next Henry Head.
How do you feel since you changed?
Absolutely fine. Did you know I can determine the health of every patient or nurse just by looking at him? Fascinating.
Have you taken a life yet, Edgar?
Don't you think that's a private matter? I would not ask you such an indiscreet question.
Do you feel the hunger?
Yes. It's very peculiar, not like mortal hunger at all. It's like I'm never sated. Fortunately, blood is no rare commodity at Pembroke.
Will you continue as Pembroke's administrator?
Of course. I can help more than ever. And since I'm already dead, I can't get sick.
Are you not afraid Priwen will find you? Next time, they will do more than abduct and torture you.
I remain a man of peace. If things were to go awry, I would flee rather than slice them up as you would, my friend.
Have you seen Elizabeth? Has she passed this way since you returned?
No. And I'm terrified to see her again. I really am, Johnathan. She could very well tear me to pieces for what I did.
Goodbye, Edgar. I'm certain we'll meet again.
That's all you deserve. Are you from Ascalon?
Money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
crushed!
Have no fear, brothers! Fear no evil!
Monster! Filthy fucking beast! Oh, mine, Vermin! Fuck!
Good evening, Johnathan Reed. Can I help you in any way?
Tell me the truth, Usher. Are you a vampire?
By the stole, you really thought you could force Usher Talltree to yield to your little mind tricks like an oblivious mortal?
So, are you or are you not a vampire?
As a brilliant man once said, to be unambiguous could only be to one's own detriment.
Why can't I force you to answer me then?
I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole. It comes with certain advantages, like accessing the greatest library in the country and avoiding answering certain questions.
I found your notebook. The one the guard of Prewen stole from you.
And you've brought it back to me. That's excellent news, Johnathan. Were you able to keep yourself from reading it?
No.
Ah, the oldest temptation of all. If Pandora herself did not pass the test, I suppose I should not blame you for your curiosity.
So you're not angry with me?
Why should I be? To live is to make choices, Johnathan. And you made yours. Now give it to me, please.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander. Yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Perhaps London will survive the epidemic, but I see terrible trials awaiting in the future.
You Londoners are no match for me! This is my territory!
go home.
Get that!
You're mine!
No evil! He to the lure!
Back in the grave! Want some of this?
Women of all countries unite!
Waiting for you to let your guard down.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Johnathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him, or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Johnathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Johnathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Johnathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Johnathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth! It's locked, all right. Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Is there anything to connect me to this city anymore?
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Welcome back, my mortal peer. Let me look at you with my piercing new eyes.
Good evening, Aloysius. How do you feel?
Mr. Dawson to you. You may be my maker, and I thank you for that. But we must not forget etiquette.
Forgive me, sir.
You're forgiven, my dear doctor. And if you need anything, even the most expensive items to help you in your mission, you just have to ask. I'll be glad to sell you some of the rarest goods I own.
How is the sanitary situation in the city?
People keep on getting sick despite my quarantine, it seems. Perhaps we should go one step further. Maybe public denunciation and arrest.
What is the situation in the club?
Lord Redgrave has just informed me that we keep on fighting the Garda Prewen. I can't wait to test my new physical abilities against mortals.
The vampire hunters are dangerous, sir. They may be mortals, but they are trained and quite efficient, believe me.
Bah! Nonsense! How could they resist me? now that I can endure almost anything. I feel victory in my veins, thanks to you.
Is Lord Redgrave fighting too?
Yes. I've heard he's out every night, hunting the hunters. He's showing us all how things are done when true English blood feels endangered.
What is your plan, if I may ask? Not for the city, but for your own future.
My future and the future of this city are one, Dr. Reed. Step by step, London will soon be the center of the greatest empire ever.
Would it be insolent to ask what the first step will be?
I have ordered the assassination of my entire family to ensure I'm the sole heir to my fortune. I can't take the risk of facing another immortal Dawson.
When will that be achieved?
We should gain total control of Europe and the Western colonies, and aim to put an immortal king on the throne within a century.
Are you already planning a coup?
Of course not! My only interest is in the protection of the crown. I want to turn the legitimate king or queen into a powerful echo.
How do you feel since your return?
I think I may have acquired and read every forbidden document about vampires and how it feels to be an immortal. I even own a copy of the Blood Bible, but nothing compares to what I know now.
What is this Blood Bible?
It's supposedly the only documented evidence that an immortal attended the Last Supper. You should read it, if you ever find it.
What have you discovered?
That mortals are but puppets in our hands. I can sense a rat running in our attic right now. Nothing can stop me doing precisely what I want.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Dawson. You've lived a long life and have surely met some interesting and influential people.
Sod off! I don't reveal my life to someone I hardly know, whether he be my maker or not.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. And remember, I already wear a protective amulet against your mental intrusions, Dr. Reed. I've studied your species for decades.
I may need equipment and some rare items to protect the city, sir.
It's locked, all right.
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lance-bearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
This is more important than the club, you, or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lance-bearer. craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
These leaflets were telling the truth all along. Nobody takes them seriously.
To vote is only the first step.
Last warning, sir! Over there! No rest for the wicked! Lord, give us strength! Finish it! Die, beast! Back, demon! Back! Back to the bloody grind! Have faith, brother! I'll kill it! Fuck, he's dead! He's dead! Shit! You'll pay for that! Back in the grave, you! I hate leeches! Back to the bloody grind! Not a safe place right now, sir. Bloody lynch! We'll crush this beast! Away with you! The power of the Lord commands you!
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
Back in the grind! This is not a place for you, sir. We've got one of them here! Shall fear no evil!
Shit, that leech is fast!
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
Steady, boys, we've got one of them!
If McCullum really drank the blood of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital
Are you
ingredient
deaf?
for my recipe.
There's the... Step back!
It's not human! Kill it!
Fear no evil. We do the Lord's work here. Vampyr. I shall fear no evil.
Don't like that, do ya? You're mad! The blood of a true defender of this land will protect you.
Good evening, Vampire Hunter.
Are you here to mock me, Reed?
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you... You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power that's responsible for all this. But I will harness either or both to end the epidemic.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Johnathan Emmett Reed.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Thank you. Can we speak more?
Indeed. Why not?
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Pre-Wing. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
How are you adapting to immortality?
I feel so powerful it gives me shivers. I could be the greatest vampire hunter ever. Your worst nightmare, in truth.
Will you leave the Guard now that you are what you are?
Are we not creatures of deceit? I could hide my nature from my men, or name a successor. Go my own way. I know not yet my path.
Will you hunt me down?
Not for now. But you had better behave, Doctor, or I may change my mind.
Farewell, my progeny.
Do not stretch your luck, Reed.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers. is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
For Ascot!
This place has been ransacked. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style.
Take not a step further, child, for you are unprepared.
You, at last. I wondered when you would show your face again. Step away. We have nothing to discuss.
Desist, child. You cannot confront the monstrosity unleashed upon this land without due preparation. I shall not allow it.
All right. But no more riddles. Enough of the obscure songs and prophecies. I ask questions, and you answer them.
My words have been as clear as crystal lakes, my child. You seem unwilling to drink, to listen, to learn.
Why did you choose me?
Only you could provide a modern, scientific answer to this ancient, mystical threat.
What kind of modern answer?
Disease, contagion, and contamination. How they course through veins is your dominion, my child. Your choices have made you. Only you can save this land.
Speak to me of this ancient threat.
The blood of hate. Vessel of the wrath of the goddess. When she awakens, a disaster will be born into this world, for she is hunger and anger.
What is your true appearance?
I do not understand. This is who I am.
Blood? You are made of blood. Surely you are joking.
Why would I? And no, I'm not made of blood. I am blood. Blood is what I am since my birth and for eternity.
But who are you really? Tell me your name.
I am your maker. I am the servant of the Red Goddess and protector of this land. I have many names.
Just give me one, then.
There are those who call me Myrddin Wild, the Wild Horned Man. But I never was a man. I was born out of blood.
I'm here to stop Harriet Jones. She is the original carrier. The well from which this corruption flows.
I have heard you, but be wary. Harriet Jones's mind is no more. She has metamorphosed into an apocalypse. Born from, drenched in, and driven by the blood of hate.
What is the blood of hate?
It is the curse of the goddess. It is the hunger in you, the need for blood, the will to strike and to punish, to spit in the eye of God.
Tell me about this disaster, creature. I know London fell victim to such a thing in 1666.
A disaster is pure anger born through blood. Its name means bad star, for they only appear when our queen unleashes her unquenchable wrath upon the world.
And who is this queen?
She is the Red Goddess, the Queen of Blood. In my youth, 100 lifetimes ago, she was worshipped as the Morrigan. She is my mother. She is yours, too.
The Morrigan? The Celtic goddess of war? Is this a ruse of some kind?
She has been worshipped in many forms throughout the ages. The true nature of the Red Queen is beyond your comprehension, eluding even mine. But know this, she is a vengeful mother.
So the disaster is some sort of accident. A disease vampires carry dormant in their blood, waiting to emerge.
That's your modern answer. But a disaster is at the same time both less and more.
Tell me what it is then, in your own words.
A disaster is the pure will of our queen. Whenever she dreams of walking this earth, she awakes in this putrid vessel.
I only wish to know how to put an end to this epidemic.
To perform an act so noble, you must protect yourself from its poisonous kiss, my child.
I know. McCullum used such a serum when trying to kill me. However, I have produced a more efficacious version of the antidote.
Your final task awaits you at the end of these tunnels. I've known for ages you were worthy of this challenge, my champion, Bittersweet.
What will happen thereafter? What future awaits me beyond these dark tunnels?
Your fate, my child, and the fate of this land. A disaster is about to enter this world to smite us all and teach us humility. You are our final hope.
Will it be over then? Once I've defeated this creature?
Yes. The threat will dissipate like so much smoke, for you will have purified its source.
And then what? What will become of me?
How would I know? I am no god, and your fate is in your own hands. For you are our champion.
You tricked me. My sister died for your schemes. I have brought suffering and tragedy into this world. I am not, nor will I ever be your champion.
Very soon you'll come to know that sacrifice is sometimes necessary. I understand the grudge a child bears towards his father and mother. Be brave, my child.
These poor skulls didn't stand a chance.
I'm sick. So sick. Doctor, help me, please. I'm in such pain.
I'll be glad to be of assistance.
Ah, like your help, Doris. Liars! All of you! My poor baby. I've been such a bad mother. But the Queen herself forgave me. Gave me another chance.
Harriet, you must stop all of this. I can't let you infect anyone else.
How dare you interfere with the Red Queen's plans, Doctor? How can you stop the course of nature? Nobody ever helped me. I've been
think it is? Oh, how infinitely, how intensely, how irredeemably are you all going to suffer now? For this is my body. Give me more! They are so young, so tasty! Blood, feed me, give me their lives. Eat, for this is my body. Feed your mother, child. I will reap the land myself. Abundant the harvest. For this is my body. Feed your mother, child.
Do you think your champion defeated me, my child?
No one could ever defeat you, mother of us all, for you are our every root and leaf.
You've always been my most amusing son.
Then go back to sleep, my queen, and smile at us from your dreams.
Did they feel my wrath? Have they suffered enough?
More than ever, mother of us all.
Until the next time.
Until the next time.
So it's over then, young Ekon. You have put an end to this terrible menace.
Old Bridget? What are you doing here?
This is my realm, Ekon. This is Sqotch territory.
But they were all massacred by the monstrosity that Harriet became.
Others will come, engendered by deceitful vampires. I don't mean you, of course.
I thought you'd been slaughtered, with all the other Sqotch.
I was up above, in search of help when Harriet suddenly turned into that thing. I have no idea what it was.
It's over now. London is no longer shrouded in the disaster's shadow. We're all safe.
Yes, you prevailed in the end. I hope you'll forgive me for the way I treated you when first you presented yourself at our gate.
No need to apologize, really.
Perhaps there will be no stories told or songs sung of what happened here today. But I'll know the truth. Johnathan Reed, newborn vampire, stepped forward and saved us all.
I'm honored to be part of this city's legend. Thank you, old Bridget. May I ask you just one question?
How could I refuse you anything now? I'll answer just as I answered Lady Ashbury when we met a few nights ago.
Who are you? Really?
I was born with the name Bridget Eleanor Wellington. In 1738, my beloved and immortal husband decided to preserve my beauty and youth forever by making me drink his blood.
You were Lord Redgrave's wife. Then the pompous fool rejected you, did he not?
It was about 200 years ago. Peace found me in time. And I sincerely hope it will find you too, now that all is over.
No, it's not over. I may have ended the vampire epidemic, but I still need answers from the woman I love.
I feared you would say that. Go then, young Ekon, and face your fate. Just remember that I'll always be here for you.
London has been cleansed. This catastrophe came about when an ancient, malignant will crossed paths with mortal imprudence. For now, we are safe. For now. My craving for blood remains. Red like hate, red like hunger, red as life and death, passing from one immortal to another, from predator to victim, patiently biding its time to rise again. London has been cleansed for now, but there's a simmering hatred, fear, and old grudges. When will we succumb, mortals and immortals alike? The next disaster is only a matter of time. My only hope now is to catch the woman I love, to understand why she fled, and unmask the secret that has been lurking in her blood for so long.